Has business changed for you much as a result of coronavirus, and specifically, briefly, in what way?
Well, I think clearly the exhibition business has been hit the hardest. We're very fortunate, I suppose, in as much as that we've got a big refurbishment project underway, and it's given us an opportunity to accelerate that a little. But clearly the exhibition business needs reopening. We see that as reopening both virtually and physically. I think we'll probably come back on stream sometime next year. Will other elements of our projects be affected? I think it's really interesting to see how COVID-19 has affected people's attitude towards working from home. I think that divides down perhaps people that are more comfortable at home, perhaps older people with families are more interested in working home, and that will happen a little bit more. I think younger generations will want to go back to work. We are, after all, a social animal. I think a big cultural centre such as ours will, it's coming on stream in 3 to 4 years, so we're very much hoping all of this is going to be over. And I think that all of our tenants, who are all very much behind us, that are coming through, all see this as being, something of a blip with an element of perhaps change, which is more internet-based and alongside this pandemic, which none of us have ever experienced before.
John, how are hotels going to look going forward? And do you have less interest in doing hotels now, or are you still interested in just thinking maybe they're going to be a different layout?
I mean, it's really interesting because we have a big project in the Cotswolds. We have it's called the Lakes. We have it's a second home project, almost becoming a first home project because people are so content there now. And I wonder whether this is part of the new hotel model where you'll see more second homes used in the same manner as hotels are going to be used. I think in urban environments, clearly we love, as a species, we love travelling. This is going to come back, and this is a big dip at the moment. And I think hotels are going to be much, much safer. They're going to be much cleaner. They're going to be much more, everyone's going to be more aware of social distancing. And there is going to be some replanning that's going to go on in elevators and the like. I don't see, I think if you look back to the Spanish flu, where in comparison you would have had 200 million deaths to what we have today, and we still have offices full and hotels full and people travelling around the world. I don't see this as the end of all of these activities, just because of the nature of humans.
Okay. John, do you think that cities will need to reinvent themselves somewhat, given that there might be less demand for office space? I know you say younger people will want to come back to offices, but will cities need to find other reasons to exist, at least at the margin?
I think, cities continually reinvent themselves, and we've been very active in that throughout my career in many places all over the world. And I think you do see these eras moving, and I think now, the internet has markedly changed how we look at a retail mall, for example. And in a way, at Olympia, we're almost a retail mall. I don't think you want to carry anything away from the shop anymore, but you are certainly got a window shop, and that's going to change. I think how offices are going to change. I think, are we going to go back to the home office? It was certainly something that we were all talking about just before the last recession, and those spaces were coming in. We are, and that's, I think, functionally, I think a lot of residential developers are going to start looking at putting offices in the home. And I think you're going to get a mix. Interesting, if you take London at the moment, we have 4% vacancy. So there's a lot of fear talk going around at the moment, but there's actually quite a shortage of supply in the office space.